Hello, Fuse Nation. My name is Alex Hughes here, and you are watching a brand new Sports Fusion episode, and we have a big show planned out for you, Fuse Nation. I have Peter Abraham, who is a Boston Red Sox reporter for BostonGlobe.com. So, Mr. Abraham, how are you doing today?
I'm pretty well, Alex. So,
Good. And it must be fun down there in Boston covering a very exciting Boston season, I think, even though I'm a Yankees fan. But looking at this Boston team, coming into the season, do you see this team being what the team was come April 1st? And do you think that this team is the same team or had the same expectations that you had at the beginning of the season?
well, I think they have different expectations because they're a different kind of team, I think, than a lot of people thought. Their offense is much better than we anticipated in spring training. They're the leading scoring team in the majors. It seems like they're capable of putting up 10 runs pretty much every game. And their pitching is much worse than what we thought it was.
Right.
They have a terrible pitching staff, and we thought the pitching was going to be a lot better given what they had in spring training. So it's the kind of a team that needs to score a ton of runs to win. That's a tough way to win, but they've managed to hang in there. They're second place in their division and only 2 games out. If the season ended today, they'd be in the playoffs as a wild card. So I guess they've been successful. It's not necessarily the way they planned on being successful, and clearly they need to improve their pitching staff if they're going to get anywhere.
Now, with the draft coming or the trade deadline coming up very quickly, do you see the Red Sox trying to get out there and trade for a pitcher?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think it's probably going to be more than one. I would expect them to obtain a starter one way or another, and probably a relief pitcher too, if not 2 of those guys. So. I think Dave Dombrowski's got a reputation for making trades, and with the offense that they have, and with David Ortiz being in his final year and having a great year, you want to take advantage of having such a good offense, and they really do need to supplement that pitching staff.
Now, do you think a name that could potentially be in the trade talks for the Red Sox is the Yankees closer Chapman, or one of the Yankees' 3 closers? Do you see that happening or no?
No, the Red Sox and Yankees haven't made a significant trade with each other, probably going back to 1997. So I'd be shocked if Brian Cashman were to make a deal that would help the Red Sox. I really would. I don't see that happening. I think he'd be under a lot of pressure from his front office not to make a trade that would help the Red Sox, frankly.
Now, you mentioned David Ortiz in the last question. Do you agree with David Ortiz making his retirement statement at the beginning of the season? And if you were him, would you retire still?
Well, obviously he's the guy who understands best what he's going through, and he's going through a lot. He's got very sore ankles and sore feet, and it's hard for him. He gets to the park about 7 hours before the first pitch on most days to get himself ready to play because his ankles and feet are so messed up. So I don't think it's a question of him wanting to retire. I think he felt like he had to retire because he was getting to a point where he wasn't going to be a viable player anymore. Just, obviously you need to be able to run the bases and all that stuff. So I think it was kind of something that was forced on him a little bit, and now he's trying to take advantage of this last year and have as good a year as he can.
And I will admit, I don't know that much of the Red Sox, in the minor system, but do we have any, people that we should be looking out for coming up maybe before the end of the year coming up through the Red Sox organization? I know we've seen a lot of rookies and young players come up, but who do you think that could potentially be like the next person up in the Boston Red Sox organization to look out for?
Well, yeah, they have 2 very good prospects in Double-A right now, and they've only been in Double-A a short time. They have a left fielder named Andrew Benintendi, who was drafted only a year ago, but he's made his way up through the system very quickly. And they have a guy named Yohan Moncada, a player that the Yankees tried to sign, a number of teams tried to sign. And he's a very physical, very good hitter. He's a second baseman right now. He's probably going to have to learn to play another position to come to the big leagues. But he's a tremendous young hitter, and perhaps in September he's a guy who could be up with the Red Sox at some point.
Okay, Mr. Abraham, I want to say thank you for taking the time to come on Sports Fusion today. I want you to say where all the fans can find you on Twitter, and you can follow along with him about the Boston Red Sox this year. Where can they find you on Twitter?
Okay, well, I'm on Pete Abe at Twitter, and all my stories are in the Boston Globe and on bostonglobe.com.
Okay, perfect. So make sure you check him out on there. He writes very good articles about the Red Sox. I want to say thank you, Feuzion, for tuning in. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, comment below of what you think about this show. Thanks for watching. I will see you tomorrow.